Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be discussing about today's late code question, which is island perimeter. So we are given a grid which consists of rows and then columns, and then we have grid of I equal to 1, that means it is going to be land, and then grid of ij equal to 0, that means it is going to be water, and then grid cells are connected horizontally and vertically, not diagonally, and the grid is completely surrounded by water, and there is exactly one island, that is one or more connected land cells, and then these islands doesn't have lakes, meaning that water inside isn't connected to the water around the island. One cell is a square with the side of length 1, and then grid is a rectangle with width and then height do not exceed 100. Determine the perimeter of the island. Suppose let's say this is a particular grid. We need to find the perimeter of this particular grid. So here we have few things. One is like we have 1 year, and then whenever we have water, it is going to be 0, and then whenever we have land, it is going to be 1. So these are ones, and then we need to find the perimeter of this particular land. That means suppose let's say we need to find the perimeter. That means we are going to consider this one, but will not consider this particular length. Why? Because this is the land itself. We need to find the perimeter such that it will touch either the boundary or it will touch either this particular cell. So we are going to count this length, and then this length, and then again 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 this length, this, and then 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 this. So we are going to count all the sides which are present at this particular boundaries, or it is connected to 0. Suppose let's say this one. We need to consider this particular side. Why? Because it is connected to 0. And we need to consider this particular side. Why? Because it is connected to boundary, like it is outside of this particular boundary. So we are going to consider that particular case, and then we need to consider two cases. One is when it is connected to water, which is 0, and then when it is connected to either this one or upside or right side. So we are going to consider all boundary conditions as well as this particular 0. And then when can we say that this particular cell is land? That means whenever we have one, we are going to count all the perimeter of this particular line. So for this, we are going to say this direction we have 0, so count this particular length. For this, we have boundary condition, so count this particular land perimeter. And then for this, we have 0, so count this particular uh, land perimeter. And then when we come back to next row, we have 1 and then 1 and then 1. For this, we are going to count this one and then this one and then this one. And then for this, we do not count. Why? Because all contains 1, so we cannot count this. And then when we go again here, we are going to count this and then this and then this. So that's how we are going to count, and then we are going to return the answer. So we'll just traverse the grid, and then we'll check whether these particular four conditions, what are the cells we need to consider. If it is connected to 0, we'll consider. If it is connected to boundary, we are going to consider. So let us go through the code once. So what we are going to do is we are going to take four directions. One is going to be to the left side, and then right side, and then upside, and then downside. And then we'll travel through each row which is present in this particular grid, and then we are going to travel to each column. And then whenever let's say we have grid of ij equal to 1, that means this is land. For this land, we are going to consider four conditions, and then we are going to say either it meets this particular boundary conditions or grid of xy equal to 0. Then we are going to increase that parameter, and then at last we are going to return the answer. So if we come to the time and space complexity, the time complexity is going to be big of m into n into 4. Why? Because we are considering four directions which are present. And then when we come to the space complexity, it is going to be big of 1. Why? Because we are not considering any extra space. We are not going to consider any extra space. Yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching the video.